So Minecraft has changed in like really huge ways. Let's take a trip back in time, flashback throwback all the way to Minecraft Snapshot 23W31A. Inside of Minecraft 23W31A, as you probably remember, Librarian changes, Wandering Trader changes. Those are like the two big boys. They got a lot of attention, a lot of hype, and a lot of controversy. However, inside of that snapshot as well, there was another big change that did get some attention, but not as much attention as it deserves. What I'll be showing you and what we'll be testing today about diamonds, well, it changes everything. Minecraft has changed diamond mining forever. Let's talk about it. Our big diamond changes begin with Minecraft 1.20, the Trails and Tales update. Inside of 1.20 Trails and Tales, you have more things to craft with diamonds than ever before. You want the diamond pickaxe? Maybe you're looking for the diamond hoe? Well, just like always, you could do that. You could also, of course, like always, craft the diamond armor. Where the big changes come in is with the smithing table and the armor trim revamps. Of course, first things first, we got trimming armor. Not only is trimming armor potentially going to cost you a diamond if you want that blue trim, which side note, you might have to go with that one. Legally, this is one of the freshest, most cool color combinations ever. But of course, if you want more armor trim, like you found this island template after searching 70,000 ancient cities, you want to make another, well, that's going to cost you 7 diamonds. That's expensive. Inside of the 1.20 update, mainly because of armor trim, needing to duplicate them, but also trimming armor, diamonds are more useful than ever. Now, because of how much more useful they are, and because netherite armor is way harder to get, meaning you're probably going to have diamond stuff for much longer, you would think that it'd be easier to get them, right? Well, actually, unfortunately, no. Inside of Minecraft 1.20, there are a couple new ways to get diamonds. Mainly, we're talking the archaeology system inside of some of the structures, but that's not really even, like, consistently reliable. And of course, definitely not renewable. One thing that I don't think does any favors to the diamond changes either is the fact that it's so briefly mentioned inside of the snapshot changelog. You would think such a big change would have like maybe a little bit more proper statistics or things like that to it. But all we were told is, hey, there's more diamonds. So that'll establish our timeline and sort of why these changes were made. Next up, it's time to run some experiments. So right now, with my beautiful armor trim on, I'm inside of a world that I'm pretty familiar with. What I'd like to do is close the world and slide all the way back to the menu. Right now, I'm inside of Minecraft 1.20.1. That's before any of these diamond changes. We're going to create a brand new random world called Leave a Like Please 1.20.1. To make things easy, we're going to flip it into creative. For this world here, we're going to make it easy and use world seed 1. That's nice and simple to remember. And then we create it. So I've never seen this world before. Like, it's completely brand new to me. Inside of this world, it looks like spawn is kind of a meh. The world seed, if you're looking for it, there you go, though. You check it out. From world spawn, if we flip into spectator and move straight down, let's see what the caves look like. Giving ourselves a little bit of night vision. Right off the bat, it looks like we have an aquifer. But keep moving down, and oh boy, we get some wonderful deep caves down here. That's great. Now, the first big thing, just to get it out of the way with these diamond changes, you should know, diamonds are still only going to generate below Y16. So, like, if you're up high inside of your world, you're still not really going to find diamonds. The big changes all take place deep, but right off the bat, right off the bat, we can kind of see a diamond immediately. What I think I want to do here is just fly around a little bit inside of this cave system and keep track of, inside of my head, my brain, how many diamonds I can find exposed here. This isn't, again, a completely random seed that I've never seen before and inside of a random cave, so I'm not, like, cherry picking maybe the best cave in the world or anything like that. So far, while briefly flying around in this cave, I found something insanely beautiful right there. That's so rare, but I've also only found 1 diamond. In spectator, I see 1 more right there that I definitely missed, but 2 diamonds. Ugh, not great. Next up, after a dramatically long loading sequence, it's time to load up a newer version of the game. A version of the game, definitely with the diamond changes. Now, a great thing to know, the must-know thing to know, is that these diamond changes are not experimental. Inside of Minecraft 1.20.2 and 1.20.30, these diamond changes will be in the game. The villager changes, on the other hand, not necessarily in the game. You have to enable the toggle. Now, this is the part of the video where I remind you to take a seat, because what we're going to check out next is going to be pretty shocking. So here we are, a very familiar looking setting. What I've done for this next bit is recreated the exact world with the same seed, except in 1.20.2. Next up, just like we did before, we're going to flip into spectator with a little bit of night vision and check out the caves. Immediately, we'll notice that the caves are exactly the same. No generation changes are being made inside of Minecraft 1.20.2. As in, like, all of the caves are going to be shaped exactly the same. You're just going to find different things dotted all over the cave. Now, pretty much immediately, inside of 1.20.2 there, you get the same diamond as before. That's going to mean where you found diamond before, diamond will still be there. Every time. That means in our little counting experiment here, we can put 2 right on the chart from the start. We have 1 right down there, and we have 1 up high. Now next up, I'm going to run this experiment just like I did before. I'm going to find random branches of the cave and move around inside of these branches of the cave. One thing to keep in mind right here, already off the bat doubling the diamonds, but one thing to keep in mind here is I'm not like insanely deep. Of course, the deeper you go, the more diamonds you are going to find, just like always. Moving around through this cave, there's another one right there, that's going to be 5, and of course, keep in mind, I don't know if it's necessarily the case for this one, oh it is. Haha, you see what I mean? More exposed diamonds means more diamond chunks, so you dig around a little bit more, and you're going to find exponentially. But anyways, we're just trying to take a quick look, not too technical of a look at how many diamonds we can find. So there's the one that I just found down there, and then up here inside the water, I find 3 more. Right off the bat with a random cave test, the results are already starting to shine. Going forward, as long as you can find a cave that is relatively deep, you should be able to find diamonds a whole lot easier. And that's not even taking into account any of the other tricks or hacks that we know. We'll talk about those later. All aboard the diamond train. Is it too late for a joke like that? I don't know. Next up, back inside of Minecraft 1.20.1, I'd like to find a large cave. And then inside of that large cave, see how many diamonds I can find. Right off the bat, I find a cave, and it's like, I mean, it's decently sized, but I think we could do better.
A few inches later.
Boom! Just like that. That wasn't hard. Inside of this cave, this is actually like kind of perfectly ideal for diamond generation. The deeper we go, which this cave goes pretty deep, and the more blocks that we can have exposed, so like big deep slate pillars, that's gonna maximize the potential for finding diamonds. Now keep in mind, this is Minecraft 1.20.1 right now, and I'm already seeing 2 diamonds. I have 3 diamonds, you see what I mean? So many diamonds, because there's so many blocks. Oh, it's beautiful. Anyways, right now, 1.20.1, flying all over the cave, looking around for diamonds, and really just looking around in general. Every once in a while, I'm finding diamonds, but it's not like crazy or anything. Next up, the part that has brought true beauty to my life since I looked at this first. We're inside of 1.20.2, we need to send ourselves to the same spot. 520, 164, and inside of this big old cave, very familiar looking. Now we start moving around and looking around. For this part, like we established earlier, keep in mind that every diamond I would have seen before is still here. But for example, that one that definitely wasn't there, well, that's added in. Moving around this cave here that was already insanely good for diamonds, we should be able to find even more. Oh yeah, we can definitely find even more. There's one right there. Moving over here, check this out. We have 2 right there. From where I stand right here, you check this out. We start off with the ones right there. We can see those 3. Keep in mind, more could be buried. We find even more off in the distance right there. There's another one right there. Over here, there's another diamond right there. And I'm sure, I can almost guarantee it, if I took more time and looked around hardly, like, I could probably find even more. From just this one spot. Oh, no, I moved 5 blocks and I find even more. Look at that. The amount of diamonds that you can find inside of 1.20.2. Hopefully you haven't loaded in your whole world. Oh, because the amount of diamonds you can find. This is insane. In fact, you're in fortune. Oh, it's a full set in 1 cave. Full armor, full tools, full everything. So that's really, really cool, but I think it's about time we get a little bit more technical. Back inside of our 1.20.1 world, because I've already loaded in all of this terrain right here, it doesn't matter if I'm in 1.20.2. Once the world is loaded in, more diamonds are not going to pop up. The next step in our more technical step is to send myself to 0, 0, all the way down at -64. From the sky right here, we can see that 0, 0 is really, really close to spawn. So 100%, this was loaded in 1.20.1. From this spot right here, with the help of a command that's gonna look something like this, I can go ahead and run this command, and then fill in specific types of blocks. When I fill in those blocks, I'm gonna get a number. So that command that I just ran, it was for deep slate coal ore. As expected, not very high at all. But how about deep slate diamond door? By filling in every single deep slate diamond door inside of Minecraft 1.20.1 with something else, we're gonna find that 223 diamond blocks. 223 diamond blocks were inside of that 64 by 64 by 64 block area. Add 0, 0, and a random seed. Now next up, if I go ahead and flip over to the world that was fully loaded inside of Minecraft 1.20.2 and go to the same spot, exactly the same spot, and I don't move a single inch and I run the command, 376. It's not quite double, but it's a lot more. 223 versus 376. No, of course, that's a 64 by 64 by 64 block area. I didn't check that space out more deeply. I don't know if there's caves there or not. A lot of those diamonds are, of course, not going to be exposed. But as you can see there are way more diamonds. Now, that's pretty amazing. And speaking of amazing, today's sponsor, and my brand new Instagram, big shout out to it. If you want to check out an inside look into my life and what's going on, and maybe even almost a face, go drop a follow. It's linked below. So diamonds. Like we found out inside of a random first cave, like we found out inside of a big cave, and like we've now found out a little bit more technically, there are way more diamonds than ever before. At this point in the video, I would like to send a huge shout out to this amazing video made by Azuma Boy. It's a super technical video and analyzes all of the specific changes that happened to diamonds. Azuma did a ton more technical diving into this stuff, including making like a big chart with percentages and everything. From our single test, we took 223 and upped that all the way up to 376 diamonds. Crunching the numbers on that boy right there and then rounding up, that's a 69% increase. Nice. Now, speaking of 69, 65% is the number that Azuma came out with when he ran way more tests than I did. A 65% increase. But it's not 65 across the board. There are some spots within diamond range that have even more than ever before. It's kind of actually relatively advanced. And so, with a big point proven and properly backed up with a little bit of science here, this time we set out. Diamond mining, of course. One of my favorite ways to mine for diamonds is jump into a big cave and run around. Not only is it fun, but it's relatively easy. But there are, of course, other ways that you could mine for diamond. And how might those ways be effective? Like, say, diamond diving. It's gone unmentioned, but Mojang's latest round of diamond buffs increases, they don't change any of the other rules. So, like, if you have water, diamonds still generate more common. The easiest, best, and probably fastest way to explore this one is, first things first, find a biome called the deep ocean. Deep, cold ocean, doesn't really matter. After that, look around inside of that ocean until you find an aquifer that goes hopefully a little bit deeper than this one. If it looks a little bit weird, like it might continue or something, then try digging a couple blocks out, because maybe it will. If you're able to find a deep aquifer that begins high and gets deeper and deeper and deeper, then continues all the way down into the deep slate range and even deeper, well, if you're able to do that instead of 1.20.2 or beyond, you're in huge luck. Because of how these diamond changes were actually implemented, just about every single diamond mining method that you already know, well, it got a whole lot better. Another fun way to mine for diamonds is with moss. If you place moss down in a deep cave and then go ahead and bone meal that moss, the moss will start to spread everywhere. The cool thing about this moss spreading is the fact that it will never convert pre-existing ores. After we spread moss in an area for a little bit of time, if we go ahead and take a hoe, we can quickly remove all of the moss really fast and see if any diamonds maybe are generated down low beneath this thing. Of course, it's like random chance, so it doesn't look like I got lucky this time. But as long as you have a good hoe and at least a decent source of bone meal, it's not too hard to pull. It's not too hard to pull off. That's what I'm talking about. It's not too hard to pull off. That could work too. So you kind of get it, but the final thing I'd like to show off here is deep dark mining. Again, because of how these changes have been implemented, mining for diamonds inside of the deep dark biome, something like this, where you want to be probably way more careful than I'm being right now, well, theoretically, it should be a whole lot better too. You know how it goes, more diamonds generate not exposed than they do generate exposed, which means if you go to a biome with a ton of blocks that you could remove really quickly, a biome that also coincidentally generates smack dab in the middle of diamond range, well, you might have a brand new way to find diamonds. It's even better than ever before. Simply put, finding diamonds is going to be way more enjoyable and way easier to pull off than ever before, going forward in 1.20.2 and beyond. What do you think? Does this make diamonds too easy to find, or are they still not easy enough? Let me know all of your diamond finding takes and opinions down below, and keep in mind this is for Minecraft Java and Bedrock Edition as well, so everybody benefits. I want to send a huge shout out to my patrons: Andrew H, Gabriel Y, Clay S, Nick C, Arlo, aka Bobby, MinecraftMojo.com, and Steve M. Thank you. If you're into these experimentally sciencey videos, check out my villager experiment next, and go have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.